Ricardo, you saw Wish,
Yep.
um, which, which, right? Wish, right? Yeah, haha,
Yeah.
right. Which first time I saw the trailer, first few times I saw the trailer theatrically, it looked very promising, right? It's Disney 100. We're celebrating, the
Yeah.
magic and allure of Disney movies, right? We're introducing a new Disney princess into the scene. Voice McGill, Ariana DeBose. Oscar
Right.
winner, I must say. Um, and it looked promising enough, right? And especially with the time that's been released, late November too. So it's kind of getting you ready for the Christmas time, right? But no lie, do I was hearing some early scuttlebutt about it not being all that good, and I was hearing more and more and more about it. So I was like, I don't know, boy. I don't know, right? But well, I hope with your review, Ricardo, at least you could just answer my one question. I just hope is it. I just hope that it's not as bad as the Pinocchio remake that they gave us last year, right?
Right.
And I bring this up too because again, Disney 100. We want to celebrate the stuff that people love over 100 years and all that kind of stuff. But is this particular movie gonna bring anything to the table, anything new to the table? I don't know. But yeah, I guess you could answer that for me too. So yeah, Ricardo, take it away. Wish.
Yeah. All of these are great questions, actually, Matthew.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's a reason why I get why it's done the way it is, but all I'll say is that this went to theaters and Encanto stay home, Judd. Nah, man. Uh,
I
you
know,
know,
right? Like I
right.
will never forget this, right? I'll never forget this, right? 2021, right? I went cinema seeing Kanto. I tell you about it, and then it dropped. I think it was Christmas Eve, Drake. I remember watching
One
Christmas
time.
Day, and people lost it. She's like, "Oh my god, Encanto's like the greatest thing ever." I was like, "Yeah, tell her that," but y'all didn't
Yeah.
go cinema to see it. All they wait until
Yeah.
it come on, all they love it. But anyway, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Real failure.
real
But yeah,
failure.
this okay. So you can understand why it is a Disney 100 thing. This whole thing is a big homage to Disney. There are a ton of callbacks, and the way how this is designed as a story, at least how it looks like to me, it feels like a kind of proto narrative of all Disney stories. That is what it was kind of. That is what I think they were going for. Is that it does this, it does this, it does this, it does this, and it's a bunch of like references to things, especially one story in particular, which makes sense given the history of Disney and why this they did it like this. So yeah, the main this tongue, this I forget the name of the tongue, but it's run by this guy, this magician king called Magnifico. And what he does is that he could basically manipulate wishes. Where so people will ask for wishes, he could control whether or not wishes, and then he's basically kind of operate with a kind of like a lottery system. So he just control and keep things in control because if wishes get out of hand, it could cause more problems than they could solve. He never explains why. He never explains why this is the case, but he talk about how disastrous it was, right? Oh, the name of the city is Rosas. Uh, and yeah, that is it. So he have his own queen. He's the keeper of the wishes. He's kind of maintaining the world, but he gets effectively kind of power man and power hungry. So the main character, she just kind of call him out on that. She like, and they set this up almost immediately, right? She explained like, yeah, you should give other people wishes, or you should effectively is I don't know was he metaphor, yeah, capitalism metaphor, spread the wealth, something like that. He's a very authoritarian person. He's like, look, you not supposed to have too much wishes. Chill yourself out. I can control this, and so on and so forth. And yeah, the main character name is Asha. She's the one who fight her. But what end up happening is that she end up making she own wish, and she end up getting basically wish powers from a star. The star looks basically like the Lumix from Super Mario Galaxy. If you look up Super Mario Galaxy and look at this thing, it's the same damn thing. I don't know why they couldn't come up with something more original, but whatever. Moving on. Yes, everything start getting magical powers, animals and creatures, and it have all these things like the talking goat, and they get into the magical animal stuff. And again, it hints at something in the storyline. Uh, and basically, why it is that singing this operating the world, and how animals could talk, and why they seem to be conscious and aware of other people, and they basically just magic up everything. And then he basically started to catch wind of this because it's like, wait, how is that magic going on without my say so? And he tried to control everything, and that is where the story shenanigans ensue, and it's pretty straightforward. The plot itself is not bad. That is a pretty good idea. The problem is that everything's so bland and forgettable, and everything is just a bunch of Disney callbacks. If you're familiar with Disney history, it's like, all right, I get where this come from. I get what they're doing here. I get what they're going for here. Everything is this. There's a reference to that. There's a reference to Sleeping Beauty. There's a reference to this. And well, just kind of spoilers for the whole storyline. Yeah, a lot of it is like basically the narrative is like a proto version of Snow White. Um, because that is effectively where that part of the world seems to be. So it seems to be the same forest from Snow White. The big reveal at the ending, well, big spoilers, 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 wee wee wee. Magnifico is the magic mirror from Snow White. Because something happens to him in the ending, and
Really? No.
he becomes the magic mirror from Snow White. So it's a proto version of Snow White. It's like a prequel to Snow White almost. But I'm not sure if it's like necessarily a prequel or if it's like a prequel that's a kind of proto narrative general conceit that maybe you could say Snow White is derived from. Like that's what I think they're going for. They're trying to do, you know how like a lot of popular stories is derived from earlier stories, and some people say it may or may not, and some religions or mythologies do that. So they say this come from this, and well, Egyptians come from this, or Christianity pulled from Hittite mythology, or Islam pulled from pre this society or this reference. And that's how it just feel. Like that's what I think they was going for to tell in the story, you know. So it's a kind of re-prequelized narrative thing in a sense. You're telling it after, but you're making it up. You're telling it comes before, but you're telling it after as a prequel in that sense. And it does this homages referencing. And that's how I just think about it. And yeah, it's a shame that it's just so boring because you have a bunch of characters who's clearly supposed to be the seven dwarfs, but they like just not the dwarfs. It's like, oh, clearly the dwarfs come from them as a conceit, but not necessarily in continuity prequel concept. If you get my idea now, it's like it's just derivations of a narrative, and it don't have to necessarily be a prequel to Snow White, but that's how it's played. Whatever. And that's it. It just they fight him. Apparently they get the people to sing and use the magic of the people to fight back against the guy. I think the main weakness was him as a villain. I thought he was a pretty boring villain. Like again, the concept of the villain is good, right? But he himself was just not selling it as a good Disney villain. He was just boring. And another big problem I had with this, uh, the the music. Music sucked. Terrible, right? None of these songs stick with me. Compared to compared to Encanto, which has had banger after banger after banger.
Of
Encanto
course.
had like yeah, Encanto had like 4 or 5. All of these songs is bangers. No song in this good. I can't think of
Wow.
a song. I can't think of a single song. I try to remember the song. The music terror, like wow. Well, I don't know what they followed with was he what we name what do you call him? Hamilton.
Oh gosh.
Like yeah,
Or
like
Lin
yeah.
Manuel. Yeah.
Lin Manuel, but yeah, like they followed in Hamilton or something. Like I don't know what's going on, right? But yeah, it was just forgettable. Like, they had some decent like voice acting, I suppose. So they get people like I think it was with this Chris Pine was the villain. All right,
So I've heard. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Actually,
yeah, it's
yes. I
like
read it up here.
but you're so forgettable. Like he's just boring. Like it's like he's just a villain, and he go like the image. The problem is that a lot of the imagery with Disney villains. I don't know what changed, but that was a whole thing with history. Remember Disney used to always had a kind of queer coded villains or something along those lines. So like this guy just boring and bland and not interesting. But I felt they just didn't have the imagery to sell him as a villain. So I just watching this and being like, all right, I mean, he's the villain because you tell me. But I'm not seeing the actual imagery to sell it to me. The main character, boring, right? She just straightforward. Okay, you know. And this is one of those things that they could just, when you do a first draft, it really feel like a first draft. This needed so much punching up to it. Like it just in terms of like the narrative beats, the jokes, the music, like them all them songs, it's filler songs. Sorry. Replace them songs and get better songs because the songs is a mess. But yeah, this was it was I wasn't listen, I went into this completely blind. I just knew it was Wish. I knew it was a reference. It was supposed to be homaging Disney's history, but this did not need to be in theaters. Full stop. Right? They could have put this as a kind of side thing just to celebrate Disney 100 on Disney Plus, and that is it. Don't put this in theaters. Terrible. Right? I mean, just the quality just not there at all. Right? It really feel like a second product. It really feel like something when you watch when Disney was putting out they in the mid 90s when it's putting out the sequel stuff. That way it feel like.
Oh
It
god.
feel like yeah, it feel like Lion King 2 or and bullshit or Aladdin.
A majority of which I've avoided. Real talk.
Well,
Yeah.
some of the stuff is okay. Like I think Lion King 2 is okay. I remember enjoying Aladdin 3, but Aladdin 2 sucked. and so on and so forth. Like it's just whatever. It's just clearly lower quality to wherever we get, right?
Mm.
And yeah, look, Disney right now, Disney in terms of their abilities is wax and wane, right? Right now they're in a waning mode,
Mm.
right? Total waning mode. They're not really they it's late 90s Disney again right now. This is right before Iger take over and he ramp it back up, right? So they in a doldrums right now. MCU in a doldrums right now. They had to take their little L for 2 seconds, so a little 5 years, and then they'll come back. But right now, this is one of the exact products. It really feel like remember the horse movie that Disney put out? Remember that bullshit? Gosh,
What was
Disney
it by?
Spirit something.
Oh, Spirit.
Disney horse.
Yeah, no, Spirit. There was
Spirit.
some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Spirit, right, yeah. And I'm gonna look up Disney horse movie on Google.
something of the Cimarron or whatever it is. I can't remember. I
Yeah,
just remember a poster of it.
no, yeah, Spirit, yeah, Spirit. Yeah, it's that. It really feel like that. They use this really cool like 2D, 3D technology stuff
Mm.
that kind of work. Yeah, it was alright. But yeah, it just this come and went from a really, really weak production stuff. Yeah, they need to punch this up. It doesn't need to be in theaters. Rating. Yeah, this I don't want to give it like this necessarily bad so because it's not like this objectively bad thing, it's just it don't deserve to be, in theaters. And it just need to really be punched up. But yeah, I was underwhelmed with this completely. Rating 5 out of 10. Moving on. Got nothing else to say because it's just so bland and forgettable. You'll watch it, you'll almost immediately forget that you watch it. Like
Wow.
it's one of those like, hey, what? Like I know straight up, I had that moment. I had to check my brain or something and what going on because I went when I leave that place, I went to the toilet and I walk out and I say, wait, why was here again? Well, you're right. I just watched this shitty Disney movie, right? I was not
Wow.
thinking of that movie at all. Between a full bladder and an empty bladder, I forget about it. Like I drained it out in the toilet with me. It was bad.
Huh.
Pretty
No, no, no,
forgettable.
no,
Like
no. What's so sad about this now? Using Encanto as an example, is if they were smart, they would have released this earlier, like you say in September, October, and then release it on Disney Plus. Around
yeah, no, it was
Christmas time.
yeah, no,
It would have.
no, it was a mess.
Yeah, people would have. I imagine a lot of people would have tuned in
Yeah,
as
no,
it dropped
it
in
was
Disney
rough.
Plus. So they wouldn't have
No, it
bothered
was
to
rough.
see
It was rough
theatrically.
because to this day, I'd still be singing. I'd still be singing and humming Family Madrigal. So
Of course, because that
I don't think
song is a banger. I mean,
as a banger. So I don't know. I don't think my brain's suffering. There's nothing wrong with me. I don't think so. So as I know, it's
yeah.
just this shit was forgettable. Holy shit. Anyway,
So
moving
I
on.
don't know, but is this a sign of the future of Disney films? Should they just
No,
stop with
no,
this
I
whole
saying,
Disney
as I
princess
saying,
stuff? I don't know.
no, as I saying, they're waiting right now. They need some blood. They need some new blood. They had to do something because entangled. This is not right. It just weak, real weak right now. Really, really weak stuff. That's the problem.
Yeah,
None of it with yeah. So it's a mess. Again, that's I don't know. It's the second string of the B team stuff that I don't know why they're doing this. Because it not this is like not as this like worse than Tarzan. You can tell Tarzan had that real like that's a real low point,
mm-hmm.
and it just get lower. But I say its spirit is on level of spirit. It's that bad. It's rough stuff. Moving
Jeez,
on.
boy.
Yeah, I thought it was terrible.
So yeah, Disney, y'all need to go back to the drawing board, boy. You know what I mean? Y'all need to do that, boy. Wow.
Yeah. They had to take they had to take, I mean, look, it's Disney. Disney, as I say, they had to take the L. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. I mean, they'll
Take the
bounce
L,
back up. They'll bounce
right?
back. Let's see, back up, right? They'll bounce back somehow.
No, there's a 5 years. They just need the fresh blood. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. They just do like I get why they did this the way they did, but like it just felt so uninspired, Judd. Like Jesus Christ.